quiet room, like I'd been there all my life. But every corner felt unspoken, like a truth without a voice. There's a mirror on the wall, but I don't recognize her eyes. She looks like she's been someone, but I don't know who she was. There's no story in my shadow, no footprints in the dust, no echoes when I call out, no one answering back. Every question hangs in silence, like it's never been asked, like the world began this morning, and I'm all that it has. Was I someone before this moment? Did I leave a life behind? Is there a name I'm supposed to answer, buried somewhere in my mind? I'm the girl with no yesterday, no memory to hold, no past to break. Every step is a step I make, like I'm learning how to live from nothing. Am I lost or am I finally free? Is this who I was meant to be? If there's a life I've left behind, will it come back? Will it come find me? Everyone can trace a pathway through the chapters of their lives, point to moments that became them, and explain the reasons why. But I'm searching through the daylight for a door I've never seen, trying to remember pieces of a life that wasn't lived by me. If I vanish, would it matter? Would the world know I was gone? Or was I only ever nothing, trying hard to carry on? I'm the girl with no yesterday, no photograph that shows my face, no voice calling out my name from a life I should remember. Am I broken or just undefined? Am I missing or redesigned? If there's a truth I'm meant to find, is it waiting somewhere inside me? Maybe I was someone different, maybe I was someone whole, maybe something went and took it, or maybe I let it go. If there's a past that's still out there, does it ache the way I do? Does it feel like something's missing, or does it not remember me too? I'm the girl with no yesterday, standing on the edge of a name. Every breath is a chance to change, every heartbeat writes a story. If I find who I used to be, will she take all of this from me? Or will I learn that I was always more than just a missing memory? So I'll walk into the morning like it's mine to understand. If I don't have a beginning, I'll become it while I can. Mm-hmm. 'Cause There's a picture on the table, face turned down against the wood, like it knows I shouldn't look. I shouldn't look. When I turn it, there's a silence where a memory should be. Just a hollow kind of knowing that it's meant to mean something to me. Every frame is disconnected, every smile feels misplaced, like I'm staring at a stranger wearing someone else's face. You were here. You were here. You were. All these empty photographs, moments I was never in, frozen proof of something real that won't let me back within. They're reaching out without a voice, pulling somewhere I can't see. Every image whispers softly, you were here, but not as me. There's a house I keep returning to, though I don't know where it is. Every doorway feels familiar, but it won't let me in. And I swear I hear my footsteps in a rhythm not my own, like I'm walking just behind me through a life I've never known. You were here, why can't I feel it? I see her in reflections, but she moves before I do, and her eyes don't match the moment, like she's looking through a name I almost remember. It dissolves before it forms, like it knows I shouldn't have it, like it's locked behind a door. There's a quiet in the questions, they finally let me be. I will know the answers, they don't belong to me. Reaching into nothing, trying hard to make it real, chasing ghosts inside a mirror that refuse to let me feel. But there's something in the daylight I can finally recognize. Not a memory or a story, but a new life behind my eyes. Maybe I don't need a yesterday to tell me who I am. Maybe I can be the answer. No one has written who I am. This is a life that starts today. No yesterday to pull me back. No voice to tell me who I was. No shadow I have to match. I'm a page that's never been. I can write the truth I choose. Maybe not remembering is something I don't have to lose. Everyone speaks like they remember, like their past is set in stone, like their lives are something certain I could never call my own. I'm drifting into something that I'm learning how to trust. Not a trace of who I used to be, just the shape of who I'm not. I'm a moment with a motive, and I'm moving without proof. No history to hold me, no inheritance of truth, no gravity of memory to anchor what I choose. So I'm writing in the present like there's nothing left to lose. Every second is a sentence, every breath a different line, every step a declaration that this life is finally mine. No revision, no returning, no reliance on before. I'm a future in the making, not a question anymore. If a past is trying to find me, let it learn to wait its turn. I'm not living in the echoes of a life I didn't earn. I'm defining every outline, every edge of who I am. Not a shadow of a story, I'm the one who write the plan. I'm a spark without a past, but I'm a fire in the now. Every doubt is just a question that I'm learning to outgrow. If there's something trying to claim me, it can wait outside the door. I'm not living for a memory that I don't remember anymore. This is a life that starts today. No empty past to rearrange. No one else I have to be. No memory left to change. I'm the only thing I know. I'll be someone I can trust and build a world from what I feel instead of what I've But sometimes in reflections, there's a stranger in my place, a photograph that flickers before it shows a face. I feel it in the silence, like a step I shouldn't take. A life that waits behind me, that I'm choosing not to wake. This is a life that starts today, even if it doesn't last. Even if there's something waiting I don't have a beginning. I'll be coming, starting today. Starting today. You walk in, and the room shifts like the air just realigns, like the noise I've been carrying finally falls out of time. I was drifting, I was distant, I was living out of phase, like a sentence with no structure, like a thought I couldn't place. No direction, no reflection that I trusted as my own. Then you said my name like somehow you already knew the tone. I don't question how it happened, I don't chase it, I don't ask. I just know that when you're near me, something steady finally lasts. There's a gravity between us, pulling everything in line, like the world stops spinning circles. Now it's moving through a line. I don't need a past to prove it, I don't need to justify. I was chasing every edge of who I'd be, trying versions, trying voices that were never really me. Now it's simple, now it's quiet, now it's something I can trust. Every doubt just loses volume in the gravity of us. And I don't know what you saw here or what made you stay around, but you hold me like I'm something that was always meant to be found. I've been missing, if there's parts I'll never find, if there's something in the distance trying to catch me from behind. I don't feel it when I'm with you, it just fades into the air, like whatever came before this doesn't have a place in here. I don't need to know forever. Just a voice without a frame, just a face inside a mirror that I never thought to name. But there's something in the silence, like it's asking me to try. If I don't define the answer, does it ever become mine? How to stand inside my skin, not a shadow of a story, not a place I've never been. No inheritance to carry, no illusion to undo. If I'm building something honest, then it starts with something true. No revision in the margins, no amendments to review. No committee of old versions trying to tell me what to do. Every step becomes a sentence, every breath becomes a clue. If I'm building something honest, then I'm building something new. Maybe I don't need permission, maybe I don't need a sign. If I'm waiting for a meaning, I'll be waiting all my life. So I'll take a name I choose, not the one I never knew. Not a ghost I meant to follow, something real, something true. If I'm more than where I've been, if I'm more than what I've lost, then I'll be the one who decides who I am, no matter what. I've been tracing every moment, every edge of what I feel, trying to decide what's memory and what's actually real. But the more I try to chase it, the less it feels like mine. Like I'm reaching into echoes that were never meant to bind. So I stop it, let it drop, let the question fade away. I don't need another version of a life I couldn't save. I'm not something to recover, I'm not something to restore. I'm a person in the present and I'm choosing something more. So I'll take a name I choose, let it mean what I make true. Let it carry every moment that I'm living through. I don't need a past to hold me, I don't need a past to prove. All I need is who I am and the name I choose. If there's someone I was meant to be, if there's something I've erased, has she disappeared forever? Now I've taken her place. We don't say a word for minutes, but there's nothing we need to hide. There's a rhythm in the silence, like it's something we both know. Not a question, not a memory, just a place we get to grow. Barely noticed, turning quietly to years. Little moments, little motions, disappearing while they're here. We're not chasing, we're not racing, we're just learning how to stay. Letting everything that matters find its own unspoken turning, we'd be steady where we stand. Not a past that I was missing, just a life that I had planned. We were living in a golden light, never thinking it could fade. Every moment felt eternal, like a promise that we made. We were more than just a memory, more than something passing through. We were everything that mattered in the life I built with you. Sometimes in the quiet there's a feeling I can't place, a shadow in the corner that I never try to face. But it fades when you're beside me, it never mattered much. Whatever came before this couldn't reach what we became as There's a space between the seconds lately, like the world forgets to move. Little pauses in the rhythm, just long enough to notice something's wrong. Losing conversations halfway through a sentence line. You'll be talking and I'll drift somewhere I can't explain or recognize. Then I'm back before you notice, smiling like I always do. But it's getting harder lately to tell what's false and what feels true. It's small enough to hide, easy to ignore, but every day it feels a little closer than before. There are hairline cracks appearing in the life I thought I knew. Tiny fractures in the surface, letting something else come through. And I hold on to the moments, try to keep them where they are, but I swear there's something moving just beneath my heart. I caught myself inside the mirror, turning half a second late, like the person in the reflection needed time to imitate. And I laughed because it scared me, but the feeling never passed. Now I avoid the darkened windows when the room is full of glass. You ask me if I'm sleeping, I tell you that I am. But lately every dream feels like it belongs to someone else. There are hairline cracks appearing in the person I've become, like a voice beneath the silence, trying hard to come undone. And I'm terrified to follow what I feel but cannot see, because something in the distance feels too close to me. Maybe everybody changes slowly. Maybe this is all normal. Maybe I'm just tired. But sometimes I know things I shouldn't know. A street I've never walked before, a song I somehow know, the feeling of somebody's hand I've never held. sometimes. I'm still here, I think. You show yourself in broken pieces, like a flood behind a dam. Every memory demanding I surrender who I am. You call it restoration, like there's justice in that claim. But if you take away my future, how are you not doing the same? This life is mine, every scar and every victory. Mine, every breath and every memory. You were gone, I was here. Why must I disappear? I know your face, I know your name, I know the places that you came from. That's not enough to make me less real than the person I've become. You get sympathy by default. Everyone says you belong, but no one asks the question, what if they're wrong? This life is mine, every scar and every victory. Mine, every breath and every memory. You were gone, I was here. Why must I disappear? Say my name, say it loud, say it like it matters. Say my name, say it loud, say it like I'm more than damage. Why is your return a miracle? But my survival is a crime. Why am I the one to sacrifice and told it's only borrowed time? You get called a tragedy, I get called a mistake. We're standing in the same grave, only one of us escapes. I must die. Call it what it is. I hear her more clearly now. Not in fragments, not in flashes. Like she finally stopped knocking and started speaking from inside the room. Breathing down my spine. Every memory returning pulls another thread from mine. I used to think that I could fight you, keep the life I built intact. But lately every time I wake up, a part of me doesn't come back. Hold on tighter. One voice says, let me breathe. And somewhere in the middle, we are both too tired to speak. I'm slipping through my fingers, and she's waking up tonight. Every time I hear my voice now, it sounds less and less like mine. I can feel I'm growing smaller, and the edges start to blur. I don't know if I'm disappearing or becoming her. Do you see the life around us? The one waiting in this room? The photographs, the coffee stains, the songs we still sing in the car at noon. I was real here. I need you to understand that. Not a shadow, not a symptom. I loved with this heart too. I know, and that's what makes this unbearable. Because every time I remember something, I can feel what it's taking from you. I don't want your suffering to become my return. Then tell me how to stop this. I don't think we can. There has to be a way for both of us. If there is, I can't see it anymore. I'm scared, so am I. I don't wanna disappear. I know. conversation. One last time, hearing my own thoughts. I can feel it slipping. I won't be able to hold it much longer. It's almost time. This is just a passing feeling, just a crack that I can mend. I've been whole for far too long now for this to be the end. I am more than what I'm missing. I am more than where I've been. If she's somewhere in the distance, she doesn't have to come back in. Why does she get to take this from me? Why does she get to take my place? I was the one who learned to breathe here. I was the one who wore this face. I built a life from nothing but silence. I turned the void into something real. some small existence somewhere she will never know. Tell me there's a way to split this. Tell me I don't have to die. Tell me I can be a fragment, something small that still survives. I can feel myself dissolving in the corners of my mind, like a voice that's slowly breaking as it's being left behind. All the moments that I've lived through, all the love that we've shared, are they fading into nothing, or just erased like I was never there? If I was never meant to be here, why does leaving hurt this much? What if I'm a borrowed soul? Just a life I should've known, just a moment in between, something lost and something known. If I'm only passing through, if I was never meant to stay, why does every part of me fight so hard to fade away? Maybe I was never stolen. Maybe I was never wrong. Maybe I was just a moment she was meant to live along. Maybe I was something borrowed, not a mistake, but something true. A second chance at being human, even if I wasn't through. I was a borrowed soul, but I was more than just a lie. I was every tear I cried, I was every reason why. And even if I disappear, I know the truth of what I gave. I was real enough to love, so I am real enough to fail. So I won't fight what's coming, I won't tear this world apart, just to keep a borrowed ending for a borrowed heart. She's waiting in the silence, she's closer than I know. I choose to be the one who lets her come home. I was here, I was here, I was real, I was real, I was here, I was here, I was here, I was real, I was real, I was real. I can feel you in the silence, in the spaces I once filled. Every breath is borrowed time now, every moment standing still. I trace my life inside your shadow, built a home within your name. But the walls are turning fragile, and they're pulling me away. There are memories I don't remember, but they're bleeding through my skin, like a story I was never meant to, but I somehow wandered in. I hear laughter in the distance, but the voice, it isn't mine. Still it echoes through my ribcage, was never meant to stay. I was only ever passing through, a ghost that learned your shape. So when I fade, don't look for me. Don't chase the shadow in your sleep. The girl you love was never real. She was a wound that learned to feel. And when you wake, I'll be erased. No trace of me, no empty space. Just someone home where I once stayed. So I will love you when I fade. I memorize the way you held me, like it might outlive the end. Like if I could keep it perfect, I could make myself pretend that I wasn't just a moment, that I wasn't just a flaw in the fabric of a life that I was never written for. And it breaks every promise that we made, 'cause forever doesn't belong to me. It was never mine to claim. So when I say don't say my name, it won't belong to me again. The girl you knew will disappear, like I was never standing here. And all our days will come undone, unwritten, like they never were. But somewhere deep I hope you feel I loved you more than I was real. like you've lost something important, something distant, something real. And I'll be gone before the sunrise, like I never found my place. But I loved you. I loved you. Just long enough to feel like I was yours. If you're reading this, don't be scared. I know what it feels like to wake up and not remember. But you'll be okay. There is so much I want to explain, but I don't think there are words for this. How do I tell you that I tried to survive you? That every memory that came back felt like standing too close to the ocean, watching something enormous rise underneath me. I knew what was happening. I knew there wouldn't be room for both of us, and I hated you for it. For a little while, I think you deserve to know that. Stupid things. I learned songs by heart. I cried. I existed. Please don't call me a mistake. If there's still a part of me somewhere in your heart or mind, let it live beside your memories. Don't leave all of me behind. I was here, I was human, I was more than passing through. And for a little while, this life belonged to me too. I know this was always yours, your face, your history, your name. But somewhere in the middle of all that, there was me too. And maybe I was temporary, maybe I was something impossible, but still a person while I was here. There's someone waiting for you now. He loves you already, even if he doesn't understand why it hurts to look at you sometimes. Please be patient with him. He lost someone too. If you're here, then I need you to know something before I go. None of this was your fault, and none of it was mine either. Take care of the people I loved, and if there's anything left of me, let it stay, because it happened. Because I don't sleep much anymore. Every time I close my eyes, I wake up somewhere else. Different rooms, different voices, different versions of my life. Arrive in pieces, too fast to understand. A laugh that doesn't belong to me, the feeling of somebody's hand. A childhood bedroom painted blue, a dog I swear I used to know. Every fragment feels connected to a life I never chose. Every time it happens, I lose something in return. A word, a feeling, a part of myself I can't recover. I am coming apart in sections, little fractures spreading wide. Every memory that finds me leaves less of me inside, and I don't know how to stop it. I don't know what still is true. There's another life returning, and it's breaking through. I caught myself calling your name in a voice I didn't know, like somebody else was speaking through my mouth, too softly to control. You looked at me like I was distant, like I'd already gone somewhere else. And for the first time I was terrified you might be seeing someone else. The mirror doesn't frighten me now, not the way it did before. Because lately when I see her, I think she's frightened more. What happens to a person when nobody remembers they existed? What happens to love when the person you loved disappears? How do I ask you to mourn me when my face stays the same? I used to think we could both remain, but tonight something changed. Survive the end. Tomorrow morning, you'll look at me and she'll be the